We'll be back with that in just a second, featuring Turbo 2-in-1 grips and Pollard Bowl. We'll be back with that in just a moment.
It's not whether you win or lose. It's whether you win.
The meek may inherit the earth, but they'll never bowl a perfect game.
And now, something different for dinner. It's Mrs. T's Pierogies. It's pot pasta and pot potato. Not only do Mrs. T's Pierogies taste delicious, but they're low in fat, too. And what's more, this delectable treat is quick to fix. Prepare it as a side dish, serve it as a main course in so many great ways. Stir-fry, Mexican, pan-fried, Italian, or even traditional. Yum! Tasty and nutritious, too. Look for Mrs. T's in your grocer's freezer.
My grandfather started Lynn Shoe Company in 1919. That's a lot of years, a lot of bowling shoes.
Jeff Lind, president of Lind Shoes.
Bowling's changed over the years, so have our shoes. We offer different soles and heels in many styles to fit your game. One thing that stayed the same over 75 years, that's the Lind quality. That's the key. Our shoes are comfortable, durable, and they perform. We're proud of Lind Shoes because they keep getting better.
We care as much about bowling as you do.
Oh, summer kind of makes you want to eat outside, doesn't it? Well, with Long John Silver's new Big Fish Feast, it's no picnic.
It's a party! It's our famous Fish and More multiplied to feed four. Legendary batter-dipped fish, fries, coleslaw, hush puppies, plus golden corn. Perfect
For a tasteful family outing or an
outrageous eating adventure. And it's an outstanding deal for less than $3 a meal. Now at Long John Silver's. And hurry in for our value meals starting at $1.99.
The Brunswick World Team Bowling Challenge is brought to you by the American Bowling Congress and the Women's International Bowling Congress, providing championship service to sanctioned leagues across the United States. Make sure your league is sanctioned by the national governing bodies. By Lind Shoes. For the performance approach, it's American-made Lind Shoes, the choice of bowlers worldwide. By Contour Power Grips, the pioneers of the finger grip industry. More pros choose Contour Power Grips. You should too. By Bud Light, offering the $25,000 Perfect Game Challenge. By the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada, bringing you the lucky roll of the match. And by Brunswick. Bowling is sold on Brunswick worldwide. We welcome you back to Princess Bowl in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're ready for match number one. Pollard's Bowl will begin on the left lane. Don Scudder Jr. will be starting off for Pollard's Bowl out of Versailles, Indiana. Pollard's Bowl finished second at Indianapolis, our stop last February. And an easy leave for Don Scudder. Will remind you that this is the Baker format. You see that Don is wearing a number 16, which means that he bowls the first and sixth frames of each game. 27 would mean second and seventh, etc. And it is a two-game match. We'll take the total pins from those two games. And Scudder gets the 4-pin. So an opening spare for Pollard's Bowl. Always good to get off to a good start, Earl.
It is, and that's what Scudder's up there for. He's their most accurate player. He's going to get that spare to start the team off in the right direction.
Here's Ted Hanna's bowler, sales rep for Turbo 2-in-1 grips, 3 national titles. Went a little bit too far to the right and couldn't get back.
2-4-5, tough spare, really. The spare shooting hasn't been that difficult when they go cross lane to the right for the right-handers, but when they go to the left, the ball has a tendency to want to hook very sharply on the back. So the best way to play this is hard and straight down the left side of the lane for the right-hander and see how Ted handles it. We get a chance, we'll look at Ted's footwork a little, maybe later on in the match, and It's very unique, especially for a guy that's as experienced and as good a player as he is.
And straight at it. So Ted Hannes with an opening spare. As we take a look at the Contour Power Grip starting lineup. This for Pollards, brought to you by Contour Power Grips, pioneers of the finger grip industry. Scudder, then Ron Pollard Sr., Derwin Petrie, Rick Pollard, and Tom Adcock. Rick and Ron are brothers. And a chance for you to see Ron Pollard Jr. with the strike off the spare. So that immediately puts the pressure on Bill Hoffman as we look at their lineup. We've already seen Ted Hannes. Now we'll see Bill Hoffman, then Mike Gordish, Dave D'Entremont, and Rudy Kasamakis. It's easier for me to say Rudy Revs because that's what everybody knows him by.
That's right. He's well known among the amateurs and a lot of the pros alike for his ability to rev it up.
Now Bill Hoffman answers the strike with one of his own. Match dead even through 2 frames. Well, the pressure really on here because of the fact that this is our last stop on the Brunswick World Team Challenge. And that will add to the excitement of today's match. Team that qualifies here heads to Reno.
That's right. And this tournament was sold out months ago. Oh, and the solid 9. Just a little high on the head pin and no deflection from the bowling ball. Just cut through, chopped the 5 off the 9. And really kind of a bad break for the team, but an easy spare.
Mike Gordish will go after that. Mike, 25 years old, owns a pro shop and awards company. Turbo 2-in-1 out of Chesterfield, Michigan. That's Derwin Petrie, excuse me. Petrie with the spare. Now Mike Gordish. Mike Gordish for Turbo. He owns 1 regional PBA victory. And a double. So Turbo charges in front here with the double.
Here's another look at that last shot, and you can see the bowlers are playing inside already. By that I mean the middle of the lane and a lot of back end on the lanes. The oil pattern is down 31 feet, and it's 2-to-1 displacement. What I mean by that is the first 10 boards, you might say, have about 12 to 13 units, and then it goes up to maybe 22 to 24 units in the middle. But as you get down about 31 feet, you see a heck of a break there, huh?
Tripping out the 4-9. Rick Pollard of Pollard's Bowl.
Another look at that shot, and we'll see what happens here. Just a little soft, but watch the ball turn, make the flip, and then kind of set up or roll out. And the 4-pin trips, and it's the last one to go after the 9.
Well, it could be 3 in a row for Pollard's. Derwin Petrie had a solid hit, and it is 3 in a row for Turbo 2-in-1. We've got quite a match going here. Turbo 2-in-1 takes a 20-pin lead with that turkey.
And the scores haven't really been that high, so you can see the players are really pumped for these matches. They know this is their last chance to get to Reno.
Tom Adcock, the anchor bowler for Pollard's. But high, crossing over and leaving the 10-pin. Well, let's take a look at some statistics from this week here at Princess Bowl in Pittsburgh. See, Lodge Lanes had the high game. 11-13, impressive. Tucky Perez with a 290. You'll see the name Tucky Perez quite a bit as we look through these stats. He was impressive. You see the high series for Tucky and also the high qualifying average. Ooh, a missed 10-pin.
Well, not only did he miss the 10-pin, but the team has had trouble carrying, and this just adds really to their misery. And there's a lot of oil out toward the edge of the lane. You can't afford to make that kind of a mistake. Fortunately, it's 2 games, total pins, as you mentioned, Dave, so a long way to go.
Now you'll see why they call him Rudy Revs.
Well, he got it out there in that area of the lane where it just isn't going to come back. And even as much ball as Rudy throws, it's not going to come back from that far down with that much ball speed. The washout, the 1-2-4-10. We're going to take another look at his release. You can see the power and the strength, and Rudy plants the foot, pulls the ball through, and it's just all upper body strength. But he is a good spare shooter. He'll give this a good try. Gotta hurry.
What a shot. Rudy Kasamakis with the big shot for Turbo 2-1. They have a turkey to their credit, and they also have a 28-pin lead. We'll be back in a moment.
Discover the defensive training secrets of America's finest baseball school in an exciting videotape. Baseball World's Defensive Drills video features professional scout and instructor Tommy Mansky and the same revolutionary new training techniques that have produced Baseball World's back-to-back-to-back AAU national championship teams. The Defensive Drills video vastly improves players' arm strength, running speed, quickness, agility, and infield and outfield defensive skills. Even coaches practice organization. Lou Pavlovich, Jr., editor of Collegiate Baseball magazine, calls it a masterpiece, the best defensive drill video ever produced. Many professional players are excited about this videotape. Just ask Atlanta Braves superstar Fred McGriff.
This is the instructional video that gets results.
Baseball World's Defensive Drills video makes a great gift and benefits players of all ages and ability levels. To order your copy for only $29.95, have your credit card ready and call toll-free. 1-800-352-2121. 352-2121.
It really worked for me.
Check out the finest action from the hottest sport around the world and get the latest from the finest players on the tour. The IBM ATP Tour Highlight Show every week on this regional sports network.
Now you take a look at our scoreboard and you see Turbo 2-1 Grips has got a solid grip so far here in the first game, leading by 28. But again, we remind you this is a 2-game match. Now Don Scudder back up for Pollard's Bowl.
Not only 2 games, but after each game they'll switch lanes, so we'll get an opportunity to see how they adjust to what's on the other side. That just completely got away. You could actually hear his reaction. Oh darn, he says. I just lost it. Did never turn over for him. Not that difficult to spare. Just get it on the left side of the head pin. The 1-2-4-8. Scudder being one of the better spare shooters you'll find around.
So Scudder going after the spare, and a good shot there by Don. So that gets Pollard's back on the right track after an open frame in the 5th.
Keep an eye on this guy's footwork if you can. Ted Hanna has a very unique footwork and very consistent, but you'll very seldom see a player walk from right to left, as Ted will do going to the foul line.
Well, that is a giant first step. Trying to get it to come back and cannot, and leaves the 2-pin.
Not a bad break there. It wasn't kind of ball reaction he expected, but he did get only the 2-pin. Could have been the 2-10, really a much more difficult spare. And right now it looks like they came out of the gate all pumped up, making great shots. Now they're all starting to think a little bit, hey, we got a chance to win this, you know.
Yeah, right.
You can see how Ted holds the ball for his spare. He doesn't hook the ball. He just real weak wrist, throw it hard and straight right at it.
And he gets the 2-pin.
Take another look at his footwork here. You see how he goes to foul, and watch his feet cross in front of each other here. He looks like he's kind of sneaking up on him, gets way over to the left side of the approach. Goes in there like a bird swooping down on a rabbit down in a field somewhere, and away he goes.
Well, so far he's been on target for his prey. And things have not gone Pollard Bowl's way.
No, they've had some really good shots that didn't strike. An easy spare missed in the 10-pin in the 5th frame, and now the 6, 7, 10. And this spare, you want to obviously get the ball on the right-hand side of the 6-pin, slide it into the 7. You'll throw this pretty hard cross lane. It's a good look at it.
Not quite enough. Well, that's a tough break again for Pollard's, and the lead continues to mount for Turbo 2-1 Grips.
Well, this is the Brunswick World Team Challenge, and of course we're bowling with Brunswick bowling pins. You got to hit them to get them, and that's the way it should be. Lane conditions are a good test. Bert Kellerman from the American Bowling Congress here to do the lanes, make them consistent.
Another strike for Bill Hoffman. He's 2 for 2 today.
And he's impressive. He can definitely get the job done. He gets good ball speed. He's got good fundamentals, and he gets tremendous rotation on the ball.
The lead almost getting insurmountable, even though it's game 1. 41 pins now for Turbo.
There's another look at that last shot that Bill made, and you can see the ball reaction he had. And that's at good ball speed, very firm. Confident young man.
Derwin Petrie with the mother-in-law.
Leaves a 2-8, and this spare here shouldn't be that difficult for a right-handed bowler. He'll just move a little bit, move his feet a little bit off his strike line to the right, throw basically the same target, let the ball hook into the spare. Try to get both pins with the ball.
So you go ahead and throw your strike ball just moving over instead of throwing it straight at this?
Yeah, you know what the ball's going to do in that part of the lane, so that's what you're looking for, just like this.
Perfect. So the spare for Derwin Petrie. Long uphill battle, though, for Pollard's bowl at this point. And now you take a look at Mike Gordish.
Turbo 2-1 and the chance to add to that lead. And we do have a very interesting mix of talented, experienced professionals and good, young, up-and-coming, you might say, future stars.
Oh, looks good.
Halfway down the lanes, you could hear Ted Hanna say, looks good, and it was good. A double, extending the lead now to 51.
And there you saw two of those up-and-coming young stars I mentioned, those last two players for Turbo 2-1. They both look like they should be in about the 9th grade, but they're out here throwing a lot of strikes.
Gordish, 25.
There they are, right
you
there.
See Hoffman, 21, a student at Ohio State. Boy, desperately needing a strike and getting one. Rick Pollard, he's 2 for 2.
The little noise you hear as the ball goes down the lane isn't the bowler rolling it over the finger or thumb holes. It's the synthetic lane surface we're playing on, and those are the seams in the lane. And you'll hear that little noise. It doesn't affect the roll of the bowling ball, but it does make a little noise. It sounds a little different than wooden lanes.
Perhaps another 3 in a row. Yes, Dave D'Entremont. Same 3 bowlers with 3 strikes each. 2 strikes each, 3 strikes in a row for these same 3.
Yeah, the other look at it, this D'Entremont's been around a while. Like I say, we talked about experience. Well, here's where you see it. He has a real high arm swing, but watch his position at the foul line. Everything's back in where it should be. The good strong rotation of the wrist, the shoulders over the knee. And when you needed it the most, right there, really, to get back into this match, because they don't want a Turbo 2-1 to get so far away they can't even find him. But 194 was a possibility. Now he has a tough spare just to shoot 174.
Head-to-head earlier today, Turbo defeated Pollard's 404 to 349.
Good cover there.
And don't forget they'll be switching lanes after this game, and could be a factor, and I'm sure that's what Pollard's bowl is hoping for.
Yes, and right here, right now, you saw Ron Pollard standing up there, and what he's doing is he's making a suggestion on maybe a ball, a move or a change on the approach. You see if he learned something here.
Well, he
that
did.
made a difference, didn't it?
Maybe a little bit too late, though, to learn it. It's his last ball on that lane, but a 174 finish. And now let's see what Rudy Revs does. Working on 3 in a row.
Well, remember last time he left the washout, the 1-2-4-10, and he might make an adjustment here. If he does, he's got to be careful it doesn't overhook.
Well, didn't overhook.
Sure didn't, and he gets the job done. If Rudy can get part of the pocket, he can hurt you. We're going to take another look at that. Watch the height of the backswing. You can see how powerfully he's built, especially from the waist up. Tremendous strength, huge forearms, and look at the height of the backswing, the free shoulder turn. Really opens up wide, and look at the position of the bowling ball on his wrist. Actually completely reverses it, gets into a figure 8 position, and then pulls it through, plants the foot, pulls it through like he's throwing a softball. And it probably feels about that weight to Rudy. He's so strong.
You know, that delivery, Earl, should come with a warning. Do not try this at home.
That's right.
It could be hazardous to your health.
Well, you could be visiting the local chiropractor for a while if you did this. But
well, if you're going to get a split, this is the time. Already a big lead for Turbo, 2-1. Now he'll just go after the 2 pins here for the pin count. And an impressive start for Turbo, 2-1. Wow. A 241 for Turbo, and a commanding lead as we head to game 2.
Mike Albee on bowling.
Getting the right grip is really important for a good game.
Hey, Mike, here's a tip.
The American Bowling Congress has teamed with Marine Midland Bank to offer a Gold MasterCard with a great 12.9% on transfer balances. Get a grip on your finances by using your line of credit checks. You get a free subscription to Bowling Magazine, and you'll support the ABC every time you use your card.
That's a great tip.
Thanks, Mike.
Hey, get your own card.
The ABC MasterCard.
You're a winner, and you deserve recognition. In sanctioned leagues and tournaments, 2 million awards are handed out each year by the national governing bodies of bowling, the American Bowling Congress, the Women's International Bowling Congress, and the Young American Bowling Alliance.
But your membership card entitles sanctioned league bowlers to more than the awards program.
There's more than $1 million each for college scholarships and veterans hospitals, bowlers supporting their communities.
Every member has a chance to compete in thousands of special events, locally, nationally, and internationally.
Sanctioned leagues also provide for the standardization of rules and supplies, plus league prize money is bonded.
Equipment testing and research helps advance the sport.
Your membership card does all that.
And every lane is inspected annually by local association volunteers. In short, everything runs smoother, and sanctioned leagues are a lot more fun.
So have more fun and help shape the future of bowling by making sure your league is sanctioned by the national governing bodies, the ABC, WIBC, or YABA.
We welcome you back to Princess Bowl in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the last stop on our Brunswick World Team Challenge. After this, we head to Reno for the Grand Championships. Ted Hanna's now up for Turbo 2-1. They dominated Game 1, 241 to 174. So they start Game 2 with a 67-pin advantage.
Well, Ted will carry that hit most of the time. Left only the 7-pin. A little light, just got a little bit of the head pin, and generally with his rotation and power, he'll carry that hit off the wall. But this is pretty easy spare. Here's another look at it. Watch the head pin go to the wall, comes off the wall, kicks the 4 out of the way of the 7, and it doesn't quite get to the 7-pin. Ted, again, that weak wrist, he'll throw it hard and straight, right at it, cross lane.
And the easy spare. Well, right now, Turbo needs to fill frames and make it almost impossible for Pollards to come back. You see finishing in 4th place, Silver Dollar Classic. Interesting here, they were in 3rd with 1 game to go, and then Turbo just edged them out. Lodge Lanes finishing in 5th and 6th. AMF Bowlers Tape.
Nope.
Don Scudder needs to get Pollards off to a hot start.
He does. They definitely need to put some pressure on Turbo 2-1 if they're going to have any chance at all. They can't just let them fill frames. They have to make them throw strikes. And the only way to do that is throw strikes yourself. Not an easy spare here. The 2-5, the right-hander has a lot of ways of missing this. Best way to make it is get both pins with the ball. He's got to be careful he doesn't chop the 2 off the 5.
Scudder has team experience. He was on the 82 ABC Tournament Team Championship team. And the spare again for Scudder. In 7th place, Clark Company B&B Pro Shop out of Springfield from West Carrollton, Ohio. Columbia Turbo Grips, they finished 8th. In 9th place, BTV Quantums out of Cincinnati. And in 10th, out of Richmond, Virginia, Trophies Unlimited. And a full field, as Earl mentioned, 79 teams entered from 13 states. Bill Hoffman 2 for 2 today, now crossing over and almost tripping out the 5.
Well, there you go. That good Brunswick pins got a nice wobble out of it, but you need to get it about to a 10-degree tilt before they're going to fall over, and that just wasn't quite there. Here's another look at it. You can see the ball hooking a lot more than he expected it to, actually sooner on the lane. And the pin action, the head pin goes to the wall. It doesn't quite get back out of the channel. You see the wobble. It's a good chance to line up off this. He'll throw a strike ball, try to see if he can get a better ball reaction. He'll throw a little harder there. And that's what he wants for the next shot when he gets his next opportunity.
A good chance for you to work on that strike shot.
Using his head.
Pin. Yeah. Now Ron Pollard Sr.
They need strikes badly. Not just to get a good score, but to put pressure on Turbo.
Well, a little bit of a break there. Through the nose.
A lot of break. That's what you need, though. You need a little luck to get it going. Here's another look at it. This is the Jersey Squasher. He carries it real high Brooklyn hit. Just gets it far enough to the left side of the head pin to push everything to the right.
They need to string a few together, still trailing by 66.
Here's a chance to see if these young guys are talking to each other. You notice that the left lane seemed to be hooking a little more. See if there's an adjustment here. Well, they're not talking to each other because he never would have got it to cross like that if they were. So they've got to get a team effort going. Turbo 2-1 was fortunate there. The last two balls, they could have been trouble. They got away with them both.
So Derwin Petrie now will try to double up for Pollards. They really need one desperately. 27 years old. He rolled a 300 game in the 92 ABC tournament. There's the double they needed. So Pollard's Bowl trying to make a comeback here with the double. Still trailing by 55. We'll be back with the conclusion of this match in just a moment.
When sports cream? When arms are sore. When legs ache. When muscles hurt. Why sports cream? Massaging sports cream in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. No odor. Why sports cream? Because it works.
A whole range of things that can go wrong in golf. Slices, hooks, curves.
The club would hit the ground and it wouldn't even hit the ball.
I used to hit the ball with a horrendous slice.
I needed some help, and Golf Digest gave me the help that I needed.
Golf Digest and the 8 Ways to a Better Golf Game video will help you improve your golf game. If it doesn't, cancel the subscription and keep the video free.
Reading Golf Digest helped me get rid of my fade.
I can drive the ball greater distances.
Golf Digest took me from a 15 handicap to a 6 handicap.
Golfers everywhere have actually improved their game by reading Golf Digest and watching the video. They know a subscription to Golf Digest is a must for anyone who wants to be a better golfer.
It really helped me to understand the techniques and the skills of the game.
I think it has articles that will help everybody.
So call 800-522-5333. If your game doesn't improve, we'll send you the video and a year's subscription for free. We guarantee it.
There is no way you cannot improve your golf game.
The only thing you lose out of this deal is a few strokes.
Dave D'Entremont now ready to go for Turbo 2-1, working on a strike.
He's already won twice on the national tour this year, so you can see this guy's at the peak of his game. You expect good things out of Dave, and generally he delivers. A lot of room here, right back, flush in the pocket.
Perfect. He is 3 for 3 today as far as strikes are concerned. He and also Mike Gordish, 3 for 3. And 2 for 2, Rick Pollard. And a chance here for Pollard's Bowl to get back to within 55 with another strike here. They're working on a double. Well, that hooked a lot.
It did. I think he got that out a little farther than he might have wanted to, but he sure got a great ball reaction, and it's kind of interesting. Let's take another look at that shot and watch where the ball is before it starts to grip. It's way down the lane, clear out about the 8 board, maybe even farther. I don't think he expected to get that one back from out there.
Him hooking back hard.
Here's a guy who can generally get it back from almost anywhere. Rudy, last time, he got the strike and then threw it through the nose.
Threw it through the nose again.
Rudy,
3-6-10.
Rudy's having his problems. The reason they've got him bowling 5th is generally when Rudy needs it, he can overpower the lane condition. He can create so much ball speed and still get the ball to hit that it's just amazing to watch. So when you need a guy in that anchor position to get a strike for you, Rudy can usually deliver. He'll at least get part of the pocket and have a chance. Tough spare here, the 3-6 and the 10. Get the ball between a 3 and a 6.
Perfect. Good spare shooting by Rudy. Converted on the washout earlier in game 1, and now that spare there in the 5th frame. But a chance here for Tom Adcock with Pollard's working on 3 in a row, perhaps 4 in a row right here.
This is a key shot. There's no question about it. They get this one, and they've done what we were talking about. They put pressure on Turbo 2-1. Oh, he dropped it.
Oh, he did.
What a shame, because that was the key shot. That's the one they needed, and just came off his hand before he had a chance to really get it out in front of him and rotate it properly, and that's bad luck for Pollard's and kind of a break for Turbo 2-1, because this guy generally under pressure is very good. Here's another look at that shot. Can't quite see it there, but you can see his hands out of the ball early, and even though he looks like he's following through well, the ball left his hand at least 12 to 14 inches before he wanted it to.
Perfect. Tom Currently ranks 9th in the ABC tournament 10-year average list with a 211.8. Lead 43.
Well, they need some help now from Turbo. And Turbo's second time around on the left-hand lane here, lane 37 at Princess Lanes. I don't think, with the experience that Ted Hanna's in this group has, that they're going to give him a lot of help.
Ted with 3 spares so far today.
A lot more room here. You see, they've made an adjustment. They've given the ball more room. It'd be kind of interesting to see what the young guys do in the middle of the lineup. The 2 young guys we talked about with the great games, they were both high in the head pin. The adjustments they make could be crucial to whether they can hang on to this lead, because there are still plenty of frames left. Half of a game to go, and stranger things have happened in the World Team Challenge.
Don Scudder with 3 spares needs a strike right here. Pollards needs to start another string. A tighter line that time, and he leaves the 6-10.
He's kind of guessing out there. He's not comfortable. He's not getting a good ball reaction, so he's just really kind of guessing. He's hoping. He's steering the ball, trying to aim it into the pocket and hope he gets a break. And he really did kind of get a break there. A split would have been disaster, and the last pin to fall was a 7-pin, leaving only the 6-10. And he'll go cross lane here. Use a lot of the lane to make a spare. Use the middle of the lane for the ball.
Hang on. Ooh.
And maybe he was figuring the 7 was there. Huh?
Almost slid by the 6. The lead 45 for Turbo, 2-1.
Lynn shoes have enhanced the performance of bowlers worldwide. Just ask the 1993 World Team Challenge champions.
The Brunswick Rhino team has used Lynn shoes for years. I myself like Lynn shoes because it gives me the best footing throughout my approach.
I use Linns for the various sole and heel combinations.
I choose Linns for the durability. Comfort is #1 in my game. No other shoe beats the comfort of a Linns shoe.
I wear Linns shoes because they make me look good.
Linns, everything you need in a bowling shoe.
You only get 15 minutes of fame.
Unless you take someone else's.
11 strikes down. 10 pins up. 1 ball to go.
Do you have an idea for a new product or invention that you'd like to submit to companies? If so, there's information from Invention Submission Corporation to help get you started. ISC is America's largest invention service organization with over 50 offices nationwide. We help people like you submit their ideas to companies. Call this toll-free number now and we'll send you this free information. It includes an important document that assures confidentiality, a form for recording and dating your invention, and an informative brochure which tells you how to proceed with submitting your invention to companies through the ISC data bank as well as various other means. Even if you only have an idea for improving an existing product and don't know where to go with it, you'll want to call now for ISC's free information.
For your free inventor's information, call Invention Submission Corporation now at 1-800-522-5333. That's 1-800-522-5333.
Well, let's see. You were talking earlier if the youngsters, Bill Hoffman and Mike Gordish, can make the adjustment. Let's find out here.
You know, they can put the match away. A couple of strikes here and it's all over. Turbo 2-1 can actually just run away with it.
Oh,
got the break for a break. Well, this is where you see the head pin doing an awful lot of work for you, and that is not only a good break, but it's great ball release. Look at the tremendous rotation on the bowling ball. It gets just enough of the head pin to have it go to the wall, come back, and split the 2, 4, 5, and away they went.
And a double for Turbo, 2-1. Coming back with a strike for Pollards is Ron Pollard. He and his brother Rick co-manage Pollard's bowl. And Mike Gordish.
Mike Gordish should be thinking right now, just a lot of ball speed, give it plenty of room. I can pick up a washout, but I can't pick up a 4-6. And all we need to do is get some spares. Get a strike, it's just a bonus. A lot of ball speed, a lot of room, only the 4-pin.
That's okay. Almost impossible now for Pollard's bowl. Almost impossible.
Well, about the only thing that could save them is what's been happening in the Pittsburgh area the last couple of days, and that's one of those thunderstorms comes by and the power goes out. Huh?
Big flood. Mez's Bar waiting in the wings. They will challenge either Turbo 2-1 or Pollards for the title here today. Now Derwin Petrie working on the strike.
Just to give you an idea, Dave mentioned we had a full field, and this one was sold out for a couple of months at least before the tournament date, Dave. And the format here is every team bowls 6 games of qualifying. The top, after the total pinfall for those 6 games, the top 10 go into match play. They bowl 9 2-game Baker system matches with bonus pins involved. If you win a game, you get 15. If you win both games, you get 30 plus 20 for winning total pins for the 2 games, and then the top 3, of course, with the pinfall carrying over and the bonus pins you see here today on the televised portion of the program.
Now look at your scoreboard, and you see the Pollards bowl digging themselves a huge hole in game 1, losing that one 241 to 174. Dave D'Entremont has really been double D for Turbo 2-1. He has struck 4 straight times. The way he's throwing that ball, you might think about maybe moving him to the anchor position. Rudy might have a lot to say about that, though.
Well, as long as they're successful, they probably won't make any lineup changes. And Rudy can be there when you really need him. He just hasn't. They haven't needed him. That's really more important than anything else. They haven't needed Rudy in the 10th frame to really do anything other than the first game when he got the first strike, and they at that point had a 60-plus pin lead. So it'd be interesting to see when they bowl against Mez's Bar whether or not they can give him a better match than Pollards did, and if they do, whether Rudy can come through. And there you get a good look at Rudy. Always relaxed, always seems to be in a kind of a casual atmosphere, but Rudy's always had the ability to dominate the lane condition and to actually throw it so hard that the surface doesn't really matter that much. Kind of reminds me of a local bowler here who's an outstanding player, and he's done a lot of really good bowling along the same lines and can throw the ball extremely hard. There's a good look at Rudy. Rudy's trying to make adjustments here that just aren't working for him. But the guy we're talking about locally here has won the Peterson Classic a couple of times. He's one of the finer bowlers in the Pittsburgh area, and everybody around here knows him, Buddy DeLuca, you know. And he looks a little bit like Rudy. Matter of fact, they stood alongside each other. You might think they were related, but Buddy can overpower the lanes just as much as Rudy can.
Separated at birth, perhaps.
Maybe, could be. Rudy's struggling a little bit here.
Yeah, he is.
He's kind of casual out there.
Maybe he feels like there's no pressure, so he doesn't have to make a shot. The shots that he's had to make, the spares, he's done a good job on those. Let's see if he can convert this.
Well, he likes to show. Rudy is a showman, and he'll try to show off. He'll try to pick this up. He's not just going to throw it down there for the fun of it. He's going to try to make it. Just like that.
I think Rudy's fine. I just think he needs to get into a tight match.
I think he needs somebody to say, come on, Rudy, we need this one, and he'll show us how to do it. Here's another look at that shot, and you can see how he can make it finish on the back end.
Just showing off, as
just
I used to say.
That's right.
So Rudy finishes off for Turbo 2-1. They will win this first match, a 222 in their second game, a 241 in their first game. They win going away. Let's take a look now at some of our past champions.
Right around the corner. Where
some of our past champions from this Brunswick World Team Challenge. No Fear out of Eugene, Oregon. Bowler's Choice Pro Shop. Bass Pro Shops, qualified in Vernon Hills. From Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. All of these bowlers here will be in Reno with us at our grand championship at the new bowling stadium. Looking forward to seeing all of them again. We went through that grueling qualifying, including the Tulsa WBA All-Stars and one of our women's events.
And we can expect some teams from around the world also, Dave. That's why they call it the World Team Challenge.
Not only that, but Team USA will be there. They will be represented.
It's going to be an outstanding event, and it just gets bigger and bigger every year, bigger and better every year, and we have some of the more talented players in the world participating in this event.
Over 30 men's teams will be entered in our grand championship. including the international field you talked about, Earl, and Team USA. Team USA will also have a women's team in the women's division. We'll be back as we go around the bowling world in just a moment when we come back to Princess Bowl in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in just a moment.
What happens when you mix NFL football with Nashville country music? You get NFL Outlaw Country, football like you've never heard before. Join Travis Tritt for one partying home video featuring the biggest stars of the NFL doing their thing to the hottest sounds in country.
What goes up must come down. Come back around.
Don't miss this special TV offer. There are absolutely no magazines to buy and no clubs to join. Call and order Outlaw Country, where the NFL meets Nashville in one unforgettable home video. Only $19.95.
Use your credit card and call 1-800-522-5333 to order your NFL Outlaw Country video, where the NFL meets Nashville. Only $19.95 plus shipping. This is a special TV offer. Call now 1-800-522-5333.
The top stories and the final word in racing with the highlights and the lowlights. If it's got a motor and somebody races it, chances are you'll find it on Pit Road. The Preview, Thursday nights on this regional sports network.
And now it's time to go around the bowling world. Brought to you by Turbo 2-in-1 Grips. More top players are switching to Turbo 2-in-1 Grips. The largest American Bowling Congress tournament in history is drawing to a close. In the final days of the tournament, Matt Serena leads singles with an 8-26. He'll return to Reno in July for the Team Challenge Grand Championships. His team qualified in our Dublin, California event. And now here is a look at the leaders in the other categories. The Young American Bowling Alliance has announced its 1995 Youth Leader Award winners. Brandy Hostetler is a freshman at Boise State and has coached young bowlers for 7 years. 16-year-old Matthew Halpern has served as treasurer and president of the Ocean County Youth Leaders. YABA's 1995 Coach of the Year is Ray Weinberg of Huntsville, Alabama. He's been a youth coach for almost 25 years. 1995 is ABC's centennial year, and excitement is sweeping the bowling world. ABC is commemorating this historic year with a special edition Centennial Celebration video. This collector's item includes the opening of the National Bowling Stadium, memorable moments from the ABC tournament, highlights from the Brunswick World Team Challenge, and a look back at ABC history. Plus bonus videos. Bowling leaders discuss the sport's future and bowling's industry renewal. And Team USA coach Fred Borden helps bowlers improve their games in Going for the Gold 2. ABC's Centennial Celebration is available from bowling headquarters for just $19.95. Here's the number to call to order now. Coming up, one more team will earn a trip to Reno in our championship match.
What would you do to get your kids to read?
I've tried pleading. I've tried candy.
Food, TV. It was heavy negotiations. We even had to have a contract.
Now you don't have to bargain or plead to get your kids to read. Just give them Sports Illustrated for Kids. Here's why.
It's exciting, so they're excited to read it.
He's always reading and always asking us questions.
We have found Mark blooming with reading.
Kids love everything from the puzzles and posters to the sports stars, mazes, and games.
I like Buzz Beamer a lot because he's a goof.
But it's more than just fun. It's an education.
This opens up avenues to all sorts of educational values.
Sportsmanship, self-esteem,
teamwork.
Sports Illustrated for Kids should be in every classroom.
Call now and use your credit card. Get a year's worth of Sports Illustrated for Kids for 4 monthly installments of $5.99. Your kids will love getting it in the mail with their name on it.
My son is reading now because of Sports Illustrated for Kids.
Give Sports Illustrated for Kids to your children or grandchildren today.
So we think reading is #1 in importance, and this is an easy way to start that process.
You don't have to be 19 to have a body like this. You don't have to work out 8 hours a day. You don't have to be narcissistic or shallow. In fact, all you really need is $39 a month. The SoloFlex Muscle Machine. What are you waiting for?
Mrs. T's Pierogies. It's pasta, it's potatoes, it's delicious. With Earl Anthony, I'm Dave Armstrong. We welcome you back to Princess Bowl in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Ready now for our championship match featuring Mez's Bar and Turbo 2-in-1 grips. Chef Zuccola is up first for Mez's Bar. Jeff, a 26-year-old bowling center manager. He has 19 300 games to his credit. And boy, does he get off to a good start for Mez.
He knows how to throw strikes. That's pretty obvious. The thing here is what's going to happen. I think this match is going to be a lot tighter than the match we had in the opening round. And I think that it could very easily come down to Rudy Revs and Jimmy Johnson bowling in the 10th frame, the second game, to see who's going to go to Reno. So it's going to be an exciting match. I just have that feeling this is going to be one of those, Dave.
Ted Hanna's with a strike of his own. Oh, the match is joined. Let's take a look at Contour Power Grip starting lineups, brought to you by the Contour Power Grip, pioneers of the finger grip industry. And for Mez, you've already seen Zuccola. Now Jesse will be bowling next, then Bill Peters. Taki Perez, he's been the hottest bowler of them all this week. And then Jimmy Johnson, the son of Don Johnson.
You mean Don Johnson, the actor?
No, Don Johnson, the Hall of Famer.
Oh, okay.
Don't forget, there is a $25,000 bonus to the team that bowls a perfect 300 in the Baker format.
But you better be first. Maybe that's why Mez's Bowl decided they'd start on the left lane. They get to finish the 10th frame first. They get the $25,000.
There you go.
Mez's Bar, excuse me. I said Mez's Bowl, didn't I? Well, that's close enough. Maybe the bar's in a bowl. What do I know?
It probably is. Out of West Carrollton, Ohio. They were the 95 Hoinky Classic team champions. I'm going to show you some statistics as we wait for a mechanical problem on the left lane. You see Mez's Bar. They were the top qualifier and also the top Baker average. And pretty much in first place throughout. They slipped a second in the middle of match play, but 5-4 just in match play. Turbo beat them in a very tight match earlier today. Mez won the first game 206-188. And then Turbo came back and won the second game 205-185. So real tight match between the two.
Well, it's been that kind of a tournament all the way through. The scores have been very competitive, not extremely high. Only 3 teams average over 200 in the qualifying rounds. And obviously all the teams have been very evenly matched. So that's why we've seen it come to this point. And I was kind of surprised that Turbo 2-in-1 could dominate in the opening match against Pollard's like they did, because, as I mentioned, it's been close all the way.
Boy, impressive, though, for Turbo 2-in-1. Give them all the credit. It really wasn't the fact that their opponent bowled that badly. I mean, they bowled a 241 followed by a 222. That's pretty tough.
That's great scores, especially in the Baker system. It's trouble.
Peters crossing over. It is trouble.
3-9. Difficult spare for a right-hander, and the reason it's more difficult than, say, for example, the 2-8, which is its twin sister, you might say, is because the ball he has to get it out into the area of the lane where it may not hook back. Here you got to look at the 2 pins he has to pick up, and he wants to get both of them with the ball. So you try to get the ball on the right-hand side of that 3 pin and have the ball finish and take out the 9. Has to be careful it doesn't slide by. Or hook early, like that.
It hooked a little bit early, and he leaves the 9. So after a double, an open frame, and that pretty much makes the match dead even again. Now Mike Gordish. Gordish impressive in match number 1. Gordish had 3 strikes and a spare.
It's great to see these young kids coming up, learning to play with the veterans and learning how to play in these types of situations from the veterans, watching how they adjust. And they carry on the game. They carry on how it's played and how it's played under pressure and how to make adjustments when there is a lot on the line. And there's definitely a lot on the line today. The winner of this match goes to Reno, has the opportunity to be crowned as World Team Challenge champions, the Brunswick World Team Challenge, here in its 3rd full season, and we're looking forward to another great season next year, Dave.
We've added a few more stops, more women's events next year. Oh my, that was not even close. He gets the 3, but leaves the 6-10, an open frame for Turbo 2-1. So a 10-pin lead for Mez's Bar as we head to the break.
Getting the proper feel is important to every bowler. Grip inserts provide you with that proper feeling on every shot. That's why today's top professionals choose only Contour Power Grips, and you should too.
Contour Power Grips. The best bowlers in the world choose Contour Power Grips. Ask your Pro Shop professional for Contour Power Grips, the grips that legends use.
And now, something different for dinner. It's Mrs. T's Pierogies. It's pot pasta and pot potato. Not only do Mrs. T's Pierogies taste delicious, but they're low in fat, too. And what's more, this delectable treat is quick to fix. Prepare it as a side dish, serve it as a main course in so many great ways. Stir-fry, Mexican, pan-fried, Italian, or even traditional. Yum! Tasty and nutritious, too. Look for Mrs. T's in your grocer's freezer.
Dreams of representing the red, white, and blue are alive and kicking. For many, dreams begin at the U.S. Olympic Festival. Our nation's premier athletes showcase their talents in 37 sports over 9 grueling days of competition in Boulder, Denver, and Colorado Springs. The gold rush is on at the 95 U.S. Olympic Festival, beginning July 22nd on Prime.
So you see, after a hot start for both teams, open frames in the 3rd. Let's see if they can get back on track here. Taki Perez, too far out to come back.
Well, a little bit of this could be, just kind of speculating here, David, it could be that this is the championship match, and the teams are a little tight. Once they get through maybe the first 5 frames, first time around for each team, ought to get them loosened up a little bit. They see the television cameras following them to the foul line, the crowd behind them, and there's a live audience here in Pittsburgh. They're all involved and watching very closely. That'll make you nervous.
How soon, when you were bowling on tour, did you feel comfortable bowling on a Saturday under the TV lights?
I never did feel comfortable. I was always a little bit nervous, and I think it helped me bowl a little better because it gets the adrenaline flowing. And actually, when I got to the point toward the end of my career when I was about ready to retire and I stopped really getting that adrenaline flow, it kind of helped me decide to quit.
Dave D'Entremont, 4 strikes, make it 5. Wow.
Making it look easy there, a little trip 4.
So some pressure now on Jimmy Johnson. His dad, one of your contemporaries, Don Johnson, the Hall of Famer.
Well, Jimmy's done his share. He doesn't have to live in Daddy's shadow at all. I'll tell you, he won the Brunswick World Open.
1990.
He's got an ABC title, so he's been here before. He knows how to play this game.
Oh, is that solid? Good shot from Jimmy Johnson.
Another look at that shot, and you can see the strength in this young man. He's a big guy. He gets a lot of power into from upper body strength, and there you can see he can actually, just like Buddy DeLuca, just like Rudy Revs, he can overpower the lane. Here's a look at Rudy trying to do the exact same thing. A lot of ball speed here, and watch the revolutions that Rudy can create on the bowling ball. That may not get there, and it may. You never know.
It does.
Just never know.
A double.
Sometimes I'm not sure Rudy knows if it's going to get back or not, but he definitely gives it a chance. Here you can see the rotation, the power, the strength in his forearms create that tremendous rotation on the ball. 10 in the pit.
Remind you a little of Mark Roth?
A little bit of Mark Roth. Mark was a different type of player. Mark was more of an aggressive player than Rudy, I think, and I think a little more talented. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I think Rudy probably second that. I mean, Mark's accomplished so much. How about that? A double to answer for Mez's Bar.
Well, this tournament never, ever got away from anybody. The top 6 teams throughout the match play had a chance to make the telecast. The top 3 teams, as you know, made it. But at any given moment, any of those 6 teams could have been in this top 3. And so none of these teams ran away. So you can see it's been evenly matched. It's been a great format tournament all the way through. And I've said it before. I got to say it one more time. It's all because this is the last chance to get to Reno.
Ted Hannes for 3 in a row. Through the head pin.
Oh, he got a big break there.
Did. Knocked out that 10, made it a lot easier to make this spare.
Just a 3-6 now, and that eliminates a lot of the opportunities to chop it. Now he wants to get both pins with the ball. Watch how he puts his hand on the ball and holds his wrist now. You see he'll break the wrist so it's in a real weak position. See that? And he's got kind of pushed on the side there. That's a great camera angle. Yeah, exactly. The idea is he just takes the hook out of it.
Right at him. We've got a match. We're in game 1. Mez's Bar by 13.
Absolute power corrupts.
Abso-freaking-lutely!
It's not enough to love the game. You gotta love to win.
Don't roll with the punches. Throw them.
When do they add the quality to Lynn shoes? It's in every step of the manufacturing process. Quality in every step of your approach. Lynn shoes.
Mike Albee on bowling.
Getting the right grip is really important for a good game.
Hey, Mike, here's a tip. The American Bowling Congress has teamed with Marine Midland Bank to offer a Gold MasterCard with a great 12.9% on transfer balances. Get a grip on your finances by using your line of credit checks. You get a free subscription to Bowling Magazine, and you'll support the ABC every time you use your card.
That's a great tip.
Thanks, Mike.
Hey, get your own card.
The ABC MasterCard.
Aw, summer. Makes you want to eat outside, doesn't it? But with Long John Silver's new Big Fish Feast, it's no picnic.
It's a party! Legendary batter-dipped fish, fries, coleslaw, hush puppies, plus golden corn for 4, all for less than $3 a meal. Now at Long John Silver's.
When sports cream? When arms are sore. When legs ache. When muscles hurt. Why sports cream? Massaging sports cream in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. No odor. Why sports cream? Because it works.
And now up for Mez's Bar, Ken Jesse. Jesse, 23-year-old student. He has 13 300s to his credit. Needs to cross over and does, but still leaves the 9.
Had a little problem there with his hand. Couldn't quite get his thumb out of the ball cleanly, and he kind of lost it, and he skipped at the foul line. Did a lot of things a little strange there for him. His game is usually pretty solid, and he usually has good balance. And he was fortunate to leave only the 9. It could have been a lot worse. Easy spare here, and just keep filling frames. Put the pressure on Turbo 2-1, make him play catch-up. We're going to take another look at that.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Here it is, and watch here. He just kind of gets out of rhythm and time, and the ball, he loses it at the bottom, doesn't really get the good lift on it. You can see right there, he's off balance.
His body leaning off to the right and almost fell over.
Well, here's the kids again. We're going to watch the kids, see if they can get the job done. Bowling second and third in this lineup. Bill Hoffman.
It's like a chemistry student, doesn't he?
He does.
How's that? He passed that class with honors.
Oh, I love his game. He's got a great game. He's got good arm swing, good free arm swing, tremendous rotation. The ball hits the pocket with that kind of that heavy roll on it. They just go down.
Three-time collegiate All-American Bill Hoffman at Ohio State. Bill Peters with another strike. He had the open frame back in the third, so he comes up large here in the eighth.
Made a good adjustment there, and that's what it's all about. And the team is talking to each other, and that helps when you're conversing with your other players. You can see Jimmy Johnson saying, "Nice shot," and what'd you do different there, making a different change in the lineup or in a rotation, how you lined up on the lane.
Also opening in the third frame and also answering in the eighth, Mike Gordish.
Boy, we got a match here. This is going to be a good one.
That's a double to reduce the lead for Mez down to 2. Tucky Perez. Nobody had a higher qualifying average than Tucky, but boy, he has struggled. He left 3 on his earlier shot in the fourth frame, and now a tough spare here.
Well, now he's really got his hands full. He's got the 3, he's got the 4, he's got the 6 and the 7. Idea here is get the ball between the 3 and the 6, have the 3-pin go over and take out the 4-7. He switch bowling balls, get something, doesn't hook quite as much. And you can see the team looking on anxiously, hoping he would pick it, and didn't quite get it back to the 3-pin. That's a big turning point, David.
Big open in the 9th frame, the foundation frame. It really puts a halt on things for Mez's bar. Dave D'Entremont's been perfect. 5 frames, 5 strikes.
A little more on that one. Helped it a little bit, and it's set up for him.
That gives Turbo 2-1 a 3-bagger, a turkey, and gives them the lead.
Did you see that little belly bump there that Rudy gave John? That would have killed me if he'd have done it to me. We're going to take a look at, watch this. Watch this, coming off the bench. Rudy Revs on the run, in the air. Look out, folks, this could hurt you. Don't try that at home either. Jimmy Johnson, got hurt, no way.
Leaves the 1-2.
Well, it looks to me like, and this is just an observation, that the players are having a little problem with the humidity factor, which there is plenty of in the Pittsburgh area at the moment with the thunderstorms in the area. And the humidity when you're bowling can make your hand perspire or create more moisture than you're used to, and sometimes you lose the ball. And if you start squeezing to hang on, you're not going to get good rotation.
So the spare, a 189 possible for Mez's bar in the opening game.
You see Johnson putting something on his hand to absorb the perspiration, the moisture.
Well, he's really into this competition. Sitting on the edge of his chair watching his teammates.
I'll tell you who's ready. That's Rudy. Rudy Revs is up, and he's at the ball return. He's ready to bowl.
Now, good ball there for Jimmy Johnson. Can't get the 10-pin to trip out, but a 188 start for Mez's bar.
Rudy's standing there sitting there on his haunches with his hand over the hand dryer, and you can see in the look in his eye, there's determination. He wants to put this match away early. 188 for Mez's bar, possible 233 for Turbo 2-1. They could take a 45-pin lead after the first game of this 2-game match.
It was a 2-pin lead for Mez's through 8 frames.
Yeah,
what a turnaround.
And this could be, whatever Rudy does, could be dramatically affect this match, because if he were to strike out, obviously it's tremendous. If he were to open, well, he got a break. Tremendous break. If he were to have opened, they would have bowled 190 or 2-0, and it would have been very close. But even at this is only a 212 if he spares and strikes. Another look at this shot. Rudy just hasn't been lined up. He struggled to get the ball in the pocket area, and here he just tried to overpower the lane, didn't keep the ball on line long enough or given enough room, one or the other. But anyway, he got a break. Left only the 3-pin. Could have been a lot worse. Could have been the baby split, or maybe even something on the left side of the lane.
So he converts on the 3, Now, as Earl mentioned, a 212 possible.
This by far still anybody's match. There's no question that in the Baker system things can turn around in a hurry, and we've seen that the left lane seems to be hooking a little sooner or a little more. Lane 37 hooking a little sooner or a little more maybe than lane 38, which sometimes, depending on the type of player you are, can be an advantage or a disadvantage. So when they switch lanes, we'll see what happens in the turnaround.
So a 212 finish for Turbo 2-in-1 grips. They lead by 24 as we head to our final and championship game. Wow, it should be quite a finish.
The BBC, Turner Broadcasting, and Time Life Video dare you to take a walk on the wild side with Trials of Life. The gripping, award-winning nature video series that exposes the struggle to survive through uncensored, shocking photography. Join acclaimed naturalist David Attenborough for a close encounter with raw nature. See the thrill of the hunt and the strategy of the kill, the relentless drive to continue the bloodline, and the miracle of birth. Call now and receive Hunting and Escaping for $9.99 and see why the law of the jungle is kill or be killed. If it captures your interest, you can get other videos about every other month. Each tape explores the harsh realities of survival in the animal world. Take a walk on the wild side with Trials of Life. Call now to order Hunting and Escaping and find out why we call them animals.
To order your Trials of Life, call 1-800-522-5333 or send $9.99 plus $3.23 shipping and handling to the address shown on your screen.
Golfers, get ready for highlights and interviews with top tour pros, along with tips and special memories. All the action from the links on the PGA Today. This week on this regional sports network.
Look at Ted Hanna's getting set to start for Turbo 2-in-1. They lead by 24 as we head to our championship game. Winner of this one heads to Reno. The loser heads home.
And waits till next year to try again.
Good ball by Ted, but can't get the 10-pin to go.
Gave it plenty of room, let it roll up to the pocket, just didn't have enough oomph when it got there, and that's what happens when the lanes are hooking a little bit. Sometimes it just kind of loses the energy. You see the rotation, the ball starts to break right there to the pocket. Doesn't really hit very hard. You see the big deflection, the ball went back to the 9-pin spot, so it didn't really hit very well, and Ted knew that he didn't roll it as well as he'd like to.
Throws it straight at the 10. Easy conversion. A spare start for Turbo 2-in-1. And now for Mez, Jeff Zacola.
Well, Mez qualified first because they kept hanging in there. They just kept grinding it out, and I talked about how this whole tournament no one has really been dominant. It's just been work hard, stay in the match, fill frames, and this is what they've done well. Come back from deficits, and this is what they have to do right now.
How's this? Jeff is 3 for 3. 3 strikes in 3 frames.
I think the advantage, even though there's 24 pins advantaged in Turbo 2-in-1's favor right now, the advantage on the lane surface goes to Mez's bar. I think the right-hand lane is more scoreable, more playable. There's more opportunity to make a mistake on the left-hand lane, lane 37, because of the fact that it hooks more, and the possibility of getting the big splits or the major opens can happen more often on that lane. There you see that really got away from him and had no chance, which kind of surprises me. This guy's a good player. He's been around a while. He's 3-time collegiate All-American, got to the foul line very quickly. The ball hooked immediately out of his hand. He's already bowled on that lane in the previous match, so he knows what to expect. And here's another look at it. The ball never, ever got to the right-hand side of the headpin. It was gone immediately. Tough spare for a right-hander. This, the 1-2-4, excuse me, the 1-3-6. A lot of ways to make it, a lot of ways to miss it. Throw your strike ball, try to get it in the pocket. Slid it right by, and we got a match now, folks.
Well, we do.
A strike here, and Mez maybe could take the lead.
That's right. A costly open frame for Turbo 2-in-1.
Actually, I think if he strikes here, it's a tie match, to be honest with you. Does that sound about right?
I'm trying to do the math here. You are right. You are always right.
Not always. Once in a while. Make good guesses.
Ken Jesse.
Strike to tie the match.
Didn't quite get there, but leaves just the 2.
Well, that's the important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Got an easy spare out of it. Could have been a lot worse. Could have had the 210 or any number of things, but only left the 2-pin.
Well, your point is well taken. This lane not braking as much, it'll leave a light hit, whereas the left lane braking more will cross over and hit the head pin. You could get those costly splits.
Which is exactly what happened in the 9th frame to Mez's bar on lane 37 when they got the big split. And that's what cost them a chance to be fairly even in the match going into the 2nd game.
A 10-pin lead for Turbo 2-in-1 grips, but they're probably right now reeling just a little bit off that open frame from the 2nd. It'll be Mike Gordish's opportunity to get them back on the right track.
We'll see if Mike can remember that this lane hooks a lot more. Give it some room, a lot of ball speed, get it well out on the lane in front of you. Don't set it down early. Got a lot of room, got it out of the lane. Didn't finish for him. Wash out. 1, 2, 4, 10. Now they're confused, and confusion leads to lack of confidence, and lack of confidence leads to poor scoring. So it's going to be exciting. If he doesn't pick this up, Mez's bar has a chance to really take command in this match after a 24-pin deficit. So, and I think, again, they have the better. They made a good decision when they picked which lane to start on. If you qualify higher in the standings, you have the option of picking the lane you'd like to start on. And they decided to start on the tough lane and finish on what they felt was easier of the 2 lanes.
Back-to-back open frames by the youngsters, Bill Hoffman and Mike Gordish. Now the pressure solidly on the shoulders of Dave D'Entremont and Rudy Revs. See if they can get things going again for Turbo.
You know, it's kind of interesting also. I've noticed in these, as we've done so many of these and we've watched so many talented players, amateur and professional alike, compete, sometimes the named players feel the pressure more than the guys that you might say nobody's ever heard of or seen on television, because they have a reputation to uphold. And they don't want to get up there on television in a key situation, make the bad shot, so all of a sudden they squeeze the ball a little bit, try to fit it in the pocket, and even if they do hit the pocket, it doesn't hit well. So it's going to be interesting to see Turbo 2-in-1 as we come down to the end here with their named players. You know, people like Rudy Revs, Rudy's going to be up there in the 10th frame for him. You've got Dave D'Entremont, who is yet to miss.
Oh, that one stuck, and a little bit of luck. So the spare for Mez, Rudy, contemplating his action in a couple of frames. You see the match almost dead even, a 1-pin lead for Turbo.
This guy's just striking forever. It's an easy game. And there it is, the extra hook.
Yep.
And the 4-6-10, 4-6-7, excuse me, 3 consecutive opens for Turbos. And all of a sudden, the confidence and the smiles that were on their faces sitting on the bench has gone to looking at the floor, and you see maybe a little nervousness on their faces, and you see the young guys saying, "Hey, what's going on, fellas?"
Nice try by Dave, but can't get it. So as you mentioned, there are 3 open frames in a row, and good prediction as well, and saying that lane condition makes it a lot tougher and a possible split coming up, and that's exactly what happened.
And here's a guy that really hurt him a little bit in the first game, but you can count on him to be a little better than he was there. He'll get the ball in play. He's a good player. Only the 7-pin.
Switch balls and go after the 7. Chance for Mez to go back in the lead here with the spare.
Doesn't take much time. Gets up there in a hurry, and be careful.
Oh my. Oh my.
That's just a lack of concentration there, and really a major mistake when the team finally had some momentum, and that gives Turbo 2-in-1 a look at the scoreboard saying, "Hey, we're right back in this, guys."
Unbelievable.
Rudy has to stop the bleeding. He needs to get any kind of a mark. Strike isn't that important. Just get a spare.
Through the head pin, and lucky to leave just the 3-6-10. Now the pressure back on Jimmy Johnson. It's like, this is your match. No, it's your match. Well, you take it. No, you take it.
Well, the lanes are going through a transition. You've heard me talk about this before, and it happens no matter what. The oil moves around a little bit on the lane, and as it moves around, it changes how the ball reacts. And as the ball reaction changes, the players have to make adjustments. You don't get that many chances on these lanes because you're making. That was very fortunate there. He actually missed that and made it. He had the 3-6-10, and he missed it and made it. Another look at it. Watch this. He pulls this ball well to the left where he wanted it to go. Just enough of the 10 off the wall to get it down.
So a break for Turbo 2-1. Now Jimmy Johnson.
I expect Jimmy Johnson to perform well under this situation. He likes this kind of pressure. He likes to make the shot when you have to need him, and there's one right there.
Is that solid? What a terrific ball for Jimmy Johnson. Turbo 2-1 with a 2-pin lead. Don't go away. This could be exciting.
Introducing Feel the Love. 40 truly passionate songs by today's most popular artists.
I'm mad about you. You're mad about me. Wherever you go, I'll be with you. We belong to the light. We belong to the love. And I'm gonna keep on loving you. What did I say?
Feel the Love. 40 hits on 3 cassettes or 3 CDs. Here's how to order.
Call toll-free 1-800-522-5333. Call from the U.S. or Canada. That's 1-800-522-5333. Or send $19.95 for 3 cassettes or $26.95 for 3 CDs, plus $4.50 shipping and handling to the address on your screen.
I'm Jack Nicklaus, and I've just joined Golf Magazine as special contributor. You can join Golf Magazine too.
Call now for Golf Magazine, and you'll also get absolutely free Jack's video playing the percentages, an insider's guide to improving your game. Jack, it's great to have you on the Golf Magazine team. Where should we look for you in upcoming issues?
Where else? The golf course.
Well, in the 6th frame, you see the Ted Hanna's with a strike and Jeff Zeccola with a spare. A 2-pin lead for Turbo 2-1 as we head to the 7th frame. Remember, Bill Hoffman really struggled, crossing well over and then having an open frame in the 2nd.
A little better approach pattern there. Slowed the feet down a little bit. Got the ball out in front of him, and he got a good result. Just left the 10-pin. A lot of ball speed there. That ball actually hit down the lane so quick, I don't think he had a chance to grip the lane. That's why he left the 10-pin. Immediately runs over, grabs another ball. You can see the pressure on how a player reacts. And they're in a big hurry to get something done. The more pressure you feel, the more the tendency is to rush. Ran over, grabbed this other ball, got right up there, and he's ready to go.
Wants to get it over with, right?
Right.
Yeah. It's like a batter in baseball swinging at the first pitch. You want to get out of that box in a hurry.
That's right. You see him starting to take the deep breaths and the feeling that, boy, I know this is for all the money and maybe the chance to go to Reno and win the big one. You can even see the tension on Rudy's face in the lower right-hand corner of your screen as he watches his opposition play.
Ken Jesse through the head pin. Oh boy, that's a tough spare there. There's Buddy DeLuca. You were talking about him before, the action man.
The action man. He runs all the brackets and all the sweepers and everything before the tournaments, along with Dave Thomas. They're the indomitable duo. But Buddy's he's been one of the finer players in the East for a long time, especially in the Pittsburgh area. Tough spare here. 3, 6, 9, 10. Wants to get the ball between the 3 and the 6. The ball carry the 9 out. Look out.
Oh boy.
Oh boy is right. That's a herder there.
Yeah, they probably are thinking we need a double now because they don't anticipate another open frame for Turbo.
But the way things are going, anything can happen. If Turbo can get by this young man right here, if he can stay clean for him, they've got their power coming after that. And Dave DeAntremont and, of course, Rudy Revs, Rudy Kasamakis. All right, they got a break. Got a break. Left only the 3-6, but not an easy spare, especially for this young man. You can see they're feeling it. They're really feeling what this is all about right now. And big hurry, grab the other ball, the ball that doesn't hook as much, blow on the hand, and let's get up and get this over with, you know. And you got to be careful. You can chop this quite easily. Cross lane, try to get both pins with the ball, fit it between the 3-6.
Well done. So Gorda steadies the nerves to get the spare in the 8th frame. And now the pressure on Bill Peters.
Well, if it comes down to the anchor man, I have to think Jimmy Johnson's the man to beat. He's the guy that's performed the best right now. Rudy has the reputation, but he hasn't got it done today.
Hannah's done for the day. A strike here, but a light hit, and results in the 2-5.
Spares are a must. Pick it up, 2-5. Again, this is even tougher than the 3-6 because the ball tends to hook very sharply on the left side of the lane for a right-hander. And you should play this down the left side. Throw it hard and straight. Bounced it.
Well, he did bounce it, and
see him shake his head there a little bit?
Yeah.
Not real happy with that. He lost it off his hand, but he got the job done. All the players feeling it now, Dave.
Yeah, they sure are. Remember, this is the last chance. The last chance for Reno.
Well, here's what it's all about. Now, Dave D'Entremont has to set up his anchor man, Rudy Kasamakis, with a strike here. If he can do that, they have a big edge going into the 10th frame.
Oh,
4-pin.
Threw it well.
Threw it extremely well, which he has all the way through except for the one that got away, the 4-6-7 that he left in the 4th frame. Here, this is an easy spare for Dave. You can't expect him to miss this. And another look at that shot. You can see it just a little bit high in the head pin. Not that bad. And he was pulling for it.
Well, now Tucky Perez. I'll tell you the story of Tucky Perez, the leading qualifying average coming in, so he helped his team get into the top spot, but he has struggled so far in this match. He has 2 open frames and a chance here to redeem himself. And he does. Big strike there in the 9th.
What a shot that was. And when they needed him the most, even though he struggled, and you mentioned it, Dave, he missed a 1-pin spare earlier, had the big split earlier. He came through when you needed him. And look at Dan Gless, right in the way.
Sees that as perhaps a turning point in this match.
That's right. And Dan is a very successful radio show here in this area. All bowling.
Rudy Revs.
Oh, my. That was almost lights out for Turbo 2-1 right there. Well, it's going to come down to Jimmy Johnson because we can expect, here's another look at that shot, and we'll expect Rudy to make this spare. He got a big break here. He had the 4-6-7 briefly, the 4-pin the last to go. Only the 6-pin now, cross lane. Rudy, this ball may not hit the lane. He'll get it there in a hurry. This will be zip bang. No chance for this ball to hook.
Well, the spare there. 160 possible. Looks like Jimmy Johnson's going to need a double.
He needs 2 strikes in the 10th to win the match, regardless of what Rudy does here. Jimmy Johnson has to get up and throw 2 strikes, give his team the victory and the trip to Reno. And that's a lot of pressure on a young man. But he's been there before. He's Brunswick World Open champion in the past.
So Rudy with a strike. Just a 162nd game for Turbo 2-1. Right through the head pin. He overpowered that shot. Well, the pressure now on Jimmy Johnson. We've told you what he needs. 2 strikes.
You can see it in his face. You can see the tension. Here we go. Oh, he made a good shot.
Oh, that's unlucky. I mean, right through the pocket. A great shot from Jimmy Johnson. Under pressure. He threw it right where he wanted to, Earl.
Couldn't throw it any better. And this young man, you can see how disconsolate he is. It's just the breaks of the game. That's what bowling is all about. And some days things are your way and some days they're not. And here's another look at that shot. And he got the good entry angle. Got plenty of power on the ball. The solid ring 10-pin. And the disappointment on Jimmy Johnson's face. And, of course, 4 other guys depending on him. And that's what it's all about.
Well, the open frame's costly, and we'll be back to crown the champions in just a moment.
You're a winner, and you deserve recognition.
In sanctioned leagues and tournaments, 2 million awards are handed out each year by the national governing bodies of bowling, the American Bowling Congress, the Women's International Bowling Congress, and the Young American Bowling Alliance.
But your membership card entitles sanctioned league bowlers to more than the awards program.
There's more than $1 million each for college scholarships and veterans hospitals, bowlers supporting their communities.
Every member has a chance to compete in thousands of special events, locally, nationally, and internationally.
Sanctioned leagues also provide for the standardization of rules and supplies. Plus, league prize money is bonded.
Equipment testing and research helps advance the sport.
Your membership card does all that.
And every lane is inspected annually by local association volunteers. In short, everything runs smoother, and sanctioned leagues are a lot more fun.
So have more fun and help shape the future of bowling by making sure your league is sanctioned by the national governing bodies, the ABC, WIBC, or YABA.
Summer makes you want to eat outside, doesn't it? But with Long John Silver's new Big Fish Feast, it's no picnic.
It's a party! Legendary batter-dipped fish, fries, coleslaw, hush puppies, plus golden corn for $4, all for less than $3 a meal. Now at Long John Silver's.
When sports cream, when arms are sore, when legs ache, when muscles hurt. Why sports cream? Massaging sports cream in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell, no odor. Why sports cream? Because it works.
The Brunswick World Team Bowling Challenge, brought to you by Brunswick. Bowling is sold on Brunswick worldwide. By Lynn Shoes. For the performance approach, it's American-made Lynn Shoes, the choice of top professionals and amateurs alike. By the ABC MasterCard. Get a grip on your finances with the ABC MasterCard. By Keepsake, designer and manufacturer of championship ring awards. By Avis Rent-A-Car, the official car rental agency of the American Bowling Congress. And by the American Bowling Congress and the Women's International Bowling Congress, providing championship service to sanctioned leagues across the United States. Make sure your league is sanctioned by the national governing bodies. Well, the applause today for the champions, Turbo 2-in-1 grips, the last chance to qualify for Reno, and they did it. Ted Hanna, team captain, what put you over the top today?
I think it was Bill Hoffman's comedy. He kept us in stitches the whole weekend, and we carried it through to the TV show. But seriously, I think the experience of all of us here and the willingness and desire for, I can speak for all four of them and myself, that we came here to win and goal accomplished.
Well, it was accomplished, and Missy Lombardo was here to present you with a plaque.
Hi, everybody at Mrs. T's wishes you good luck in Reno.
All right. And also John Jones. John, the manager here at Princess Bowl, thanks again for a wonderful weekend. We had a great time.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Congratulations to Turbo 2-in-1 and all the other competitors that showed up at Princess Lanes. They had great competition, great scores also.
Some fine, wonderful rings, keepsake rings for you here today. And also from ABC, Dennis Zarneska. Dennis, you clean up pretty well. You look all right with those Lynn shoes.
Thanks, Dave. And Ted, on behalf of the American Bowling Congress, its 2.2 million members, the Lynn Shoe Company, and all their distributors, congratulations. Best of luck in Reno. Good luck.
Well, again, once again, congratulations, Ted, and we wish you the best in Reno. Last chance. Do you feel the pressure here today?
A little bit. I've been fortunate enough that I qualified at one of the qualifiers in Cheektowaga earlier in the year, but I'm glad that we're getting to go to Reno, and these guys get a chance to win the World Team Challenge also.
It'll be fun to watch Rudy rev it up in Reno, and we'll return in Reno for the Grand Championships next month. Goodbye, everybody. The next World Team Bowling Challenge telecast will be our Grand Championship, and it will come to you from the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. Check your local listings for dates and times. For Earl Anthony, this is Dave Armstrong saying so long from Pittsburgh. This has been an ABC Eagle Productions telecast.